Hello, thank you for tuning in to GSN Spotlight. Today we'll be interviewing coaches' wives on what it's like to be a wife of a high school coach. Can you introduce yourself and who you're married to?
I'm Amy Robinson, married to Coach Robinson. He's the cross country and softball coach.
I'm Vicki Lyles. I'm married to Coach Lyles.
I am Summer Hill, Mrs. Hill, and I'm married to Coach Hill, head coach for the Greenwood Rangers.
My name is Josie Alvarez, and I've been married to Coach Alvarez for 31 years.
Were you surprised by the amount of hours coaches work?
At first, yes, when he first got a coaching job, yes. We had little baby at the time, and yeah, he got home like 10 o'clock at night. So it was a lot of hours, so I got used to it pretty quick, yeah.
I guess initially I was, we've been married 30 years, so when we were dating I probably was surprised, but I'm used to it now.
I am a former coach and I've worked at a few different levels, so I think I knew what I was getting into when I jumped into that. So I think sometimes the hours end up being a little more than I expect, but definitely not surprised.
Yes and no. I also coached for about 4 years at the junior high level. And so while you are aware that it's a lot of hours, you don't know what a lot really means. So I was a little surprised that they do put in a minimum of 12 hours a day, and some days it's 18 hours.
Were you an athlete in high school or in college? If you were, what sports did you play?
Not in high school. I was in drill team in high school, but before that I played softball and baseball.
If you call a barrel racer athlete, yes, I guess. I'm a high school rodeoed, and then I got a rodeo scholarship in college.
I played soccer in high school and was fortunate enough to go on and play at Auburn University.
And I was a point guard, and I also ran the 800 in high school.
What are you looking forward to this year in your husband's upcoming season?
They're going to have a lot of energy this year. So we've got a younger team, a lot of positive energy. My expectations are high. I think they're going to do really good. I'm excited about it.
I think I'm looking forward to the football season. It's always exciting to see the teams basically start over again, and I really enjoy watching Coach Lyles coach and see the love that he has for it and how much he enjoys it.
I am really excited for our first home game and seeing the community come out and support the Rangers. Getting to bring my toddler to his first Greenwood football season is definitely high on my list. And then just watching our students and kiddos succeed and work hard on and off the field is always really rewarding.
As everybody knows, we graduated a really strong class of athletes. So I think what I'm looking forward to is just see the growth that we're going to see with this young group. I think they're excited. I think they're up for the challenge. And so we're kind of excited to see, where they end up. And I just think the Ranger future is very bright.
Could you say some pros and cons of being married to a coach or being a coach yourself?
Okay, let's start with cons, so we end up positive. Some of the cons is, as a coaching family, if you're not careful, your own family can suffer. As we talked about, the hours are long, and so it can be a very lonely existence sometimes when you're a young coach's wife and you have children and the kids are getting sick, and yet your husband's not there to take one or the other. And so I can tell you it can be very lonely. So it's very important that you surround yourself by a good support system, a good, church community, that you surround yourself by a good coaching. And if you've got a great coaching staff and a good staff of wives, then that's very important to ask for that kind of help. So that's one of the cons. I'll tell you, one of the cons that a lot of times people don't think about is how hard it is to be a coach's kid. So as a coaching family, sometimes coaches' kids, your husband is pouring into other people's kids, and so you as a wife have to make sure that you're making sure that that's all getting balanced out. So another con is So we've all coached our kids in some regard, and so we think we know what's best. And sometimes to sit in the stands and hear people badmouth, your coach because the hours that they put in, that's kind of tough at times, because if you're winning, you're a hero and a genius, and if you're losing, you're not good at all. And
so some cons, you're not going to see them that much during their season. They're going to be gone. They're busy all the time, and if they're not gone, they're thinking about it. They're scheduling. It's 24/7. I feel like. Which means they're really passionate about their job, and they're going to be really good at it.
Well, I'll begin with the cons. Obviously, it's the hours that they spend most of the time late in the evenings and on the weekends. But like I've said, I've gotten used to that. And I don't think it bothers Coach Lyles a bit because he enjoys it so much.
Some of the cons are definitely the time that's taken away. We work really hard to get out to practices and certainly be at events to support, but there's a lot of time that's split in divide and conquer mentality.
Some pros, you get to go to all the games, you get to see all the excitement, you get to see that side of them.
Okay, so pros to being a coach's wife or coaching family. You get to meet the most wonderful individuals. We have had the privilege of, having athletes come through our, home and our teams that just, they're just fun. I would not trade the number of kids that I've met. And I think the biggest joy for me is to run into them, out and about, and, they're doing wonderful things. And so that to me is probably the best pro, sorry. Another pro I think to me is that my kids have always had the opportunity to be around good, solid kids and families. And so, we would not trade that. My kids, like I said, were raised in the stands somewhere, and they wouldn't trade that for the world. We become a part of whatever team. I'm telling you right now, my girls who have never been to Greenwood are sporting the Ranger gear, and they're listening to all the streaming that are going on, because it really becomes a part of who we are. So, I wouldn't trade that for the world.
The pros, I believe it's just seeing how much he enjoys coaching and the love that he has for it. And I love watching them win and see how far they can go.
Sure. I think the pros are getting to see the effort and the work that's going into young people in our community, and certainly getting to be a bigger and deeper part of the Greenwood Rangers and any community that you may be a part of.
Do you have a message for this year's Rangers and Rangerettes?
I always tell students, don't give up. I think failure is hard to swallow sometimes, even academics, or in sports, and we can learn from our failures, and it makes us a better person. So don't give up and strive to get better.
No, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me, and go Rangers.
Sick 'em, go get 'em.
I think I do. So if you're especially a senior, but all high school kids, if you are playing sports or doing band or anything extracurricular, or just surviving high school, my message would be enjoy every moment, because as hard as you think it may be now, when this ends, it gets harder. And so I would say enjoy every minute. When it stops, it stops. And so don't let any moment pass you by. And to quote one of my favorite movies, don't do anything to embarrass yourself, your team, or your family. You guys live in the era of social media, and while you're free to do whatever you want, you're not necessarily free of those consequences. So make good choices, surround yourself with people that love you and want the best for you, and have a wonderful year and a wonderful season.
Thank you to all the wives that joined us. I hope this was enlightening to see what it's like to be a coach's wife. With Greenwood Sports Network, this is Carlos Braza.